already established by my colleagues. Mr. Chairman, the second Speaker of the Opposition will decline my worthy colleague because she cannot stand to hear the truthful fact that economic development is indeed more important. Mr. Chairman, I know my colleagues have already convinced you, but allow me to summarize some of the important points which were made. Mr. Chairman, while we agree that protecting the environment is important, we have to also agree that it is not more important than economic development. Why? The World Bank's annual report in 2007 clearly stated that nearly 1 billion people in the developing countries are living below the international poverty line of $1.80 in consumption expedition per person per day, while another 1.5 billion are only a little better off living on less than $2.50 per day. Mr. Chairman, economic development is vital for meeting the basic needs of growing populations of developing countries. As stated by Mr. Dave Bingers, the representative for the Republic of China, the weak economic basis and the self-repair capacity of developing countries causes them to be worse hit by the current financial crisis developing all over the world. Mr. Chairman, human life will always take precedence over environmental protection, and where economic development is needed to preserve the human life and dignity, then environmental protection will have to be secondary. Mr. Chairman, economic development cannot be blamed for environmental degradation. According to the rating 1994, and I quote, the degradation of the world environment might also be considered in regards to the uneven distribution of welfare and poverty between developed and developing countries. Mr. Chairman, life is a continuous struggle for people in developing countries to get enough food and other basic necessities to survive. They usually have no other choice but to burn their forests and use resources just to secure basic existence. Mr. Chairman, without a stable economic base, there is no considerable way that one can think of environmental protection. The call is for developed countries to generate sufficient economic growth to support social development in those lesser developed countries. Mr. Chairman, the Grenadian people, including you, I'm sure, will prefer to hear plans of economic development on the local news media rather than talk of global warming all the time. Mr. Chairman, I know you're just doing your job. You don't have a choice, so you can't take sides. But I am sure, if anyone asks you off the record, you will let them know that developing the economics is more important than protecting the environment of developing countries. I thank you.